He's put on the weight really nice. So I think Islam right now is about 191 pounds. You know, he's solid 191. So we're not going to have an issue with the weight. You know, jumping up in weight.
Islam Makhachev's transformation ahead of UFC 322 has shocked just about everyone. Longtime coach Javier Mendez recently opened up about the reigning lightweight champion's move to welterweight, and it's not just a simple step up in class. During his chat with Red Corner MMA, Mendez shared that Islam now walks around at nearly 191 pounds, a significant jump from the 180-pound range he carried while dominating the lightweight division. What once looked like a risky leap to 170 is now beginning to look perfectly natural. Mendez admitted that at first he worried Islam might look undersized next to Jack Della Maddalena, but after seeing his current frame, that fear disappeared. The Dagestani contender has clearly done it right. He's built real muscle and power without losing the speed and precision that make his style so effective.
Let's face it, he was a fairly large lightweight as it was anyways, okay? Now, I don't think he's a small welterweight. I don't think he's a big welterweight. I think he's a average size welterweight at the present time.
Does it make you think like, is middleweight an option?
At the present time, you know, we have to get by Jack.
Yes.
And then we have to look and see what he wants. And if we don't get by Jack, I don't even want to think middleweight. I would like to think, if I'm going to think anything, I'm going to think get by Jack, then go after some title defenses. And once he gets by Jack, which that's what we're working for, I'm looking at a person that's going to be in the pound for pound best ever, you know, because he would have done something that no one has done. The record time, Anderson Silva, 16 fights, unbeaten, you know, a streak, and he would have done it winning 2 titles. So not many people are in that category. So, you know, we're going to have to talk about him in that category, you know, and I've always said it that this guy, he's so easy to train. He's good everywhere, and a lot of people underestimate how good he is. And when they get in there with him, it feels a different story. You know, like the guy can stand with you. He can take you to the ground and deal with you on the ground. And he's smart, and he listens to his coaches, all his coaches. Whatever his coach tells him to, he go out and he does.
Once that information came out, excitement for Islam's welterweight debut exploded. His upcoming matchup with Maddalena has divided fans and analysts alike. Everyone's debating whether Islam's dominance will translate into this heavier division, or if the Aussie's calm, dangerous striking will expose some new weaknesses. As expected, fighters from across the sport have shared their opinions, some fully confident that Islam's skill will carry him through, while others think this weight jump might finally shake things up. Colby Covington was one of the first to weigh in. He pointed out that moving to 170 means Islam will finally be facing men his own size, removing the physical edge he often enjoyed at lightweight. Still, Covington didn't doubt his talent. He admitted that Islam's seamless blend of striking and grappling is something few can match, a rare combination that gives him a real chance against anyone. But Covington also said this matchup is unpredictable, and that very uncertainty is what makes it such an exciting fight for fans.
Islam versus JDM, what do you make of that? Islam moving up to now welterweight?
Yeah, it's an interesting fight. I'm excited to see how it goes. You know, Islam, you know, is a lightweight. He's going to be a little smaller in the fight, but he's a well-rounded fighter. So, You know, if he's able to take down JDM and control him, you know, he could definitely get the job done. But it's going to be interesting to see how the size advantage plays a difference in the fight.
Who do you favor?
I mean, I seen the odds were pretty big. They favored Makhachev like 3-1. So I guess I got to go with the odds if they're going 3-1. But just because JDM doesn't have good takedown defense, but you never know. It's a fight, and JDM has some good hands, so it should be an exciting fight for the fans.
Israel Adesanya shared his view from a striker's angle. Having faced strong wrestlers himself, he knows exactly how dangerous someone like Islam can be when allowed to control the pace. Adesanya believes Madalena's only chance lies in keeping the fight on the feet, constantly breaking Islam's rhythm with clean, sharp shots. But he also warned that Islam's biggest strength is his adaptability. He can change tactics in a second. One small mistake could decide everything. Adesanya added that if Jack wants to win, he'll need perfect focus. No mental slips, no lazy moments, no errors.
Look, we will give the first fight on the new contract is Jones, Tom Aspinall. All right.
I mean, while we're on...
Fuck, I'm usually overthinking everything. I don't know how I missed that, but yeah.
That's why we fight.
I'm usually like...
While we're on super fight chats, because you guys both know a lot about these two people, Della versus Islam. How are we feeling about that?
I think Della is going to get it done. I feel from talking to Tim and also seeing Della, and also I've only sparred Della once, like not really hard crazy, but, and I didn't try and take him down at all, but I've seen him at your gym sparring, and his scrambles are crazy.
Yeah, he's
even
good
watching him
scrambles.
with Bilal as well, and Gilbert Burns. His scrambles are crazy, and I feel Islam would feel like he bit off more than he could chew once he gets in there with him, because when he puts some things on him, he's like, oh shit, I'm standing with this guy, I have to take him down. And then he tries, gets him down, and he gets back up, or he couldn't get him down, because he's a big dude. People don't realize how big Della is as well, and he's solid. So I really
Dense,
think,
man, just dense.
dense, yeah. Like when I felt like I said.
Yoel Romero added his own thoughts, focusing more on Madalena's toughness. The veteran praised the Australian's composure and gas tank, noting how calm he stayed even during his short notice fight with Bilal Muhammad. To Romero, that performance showed that Jack doesn't break easily. He may not have the same grappling background as Islam or the other Dagestanis, but Romero thinks Madalena has proven he can adjust against elite level wrestlers. For Romero, that mental toughness and adaptability could be Jack's biggest advantage heading into UFC 322.
Yoel Romero gives his honest take. Yoel Romero just shared his thoughts on a potential showdown between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, and it's a must-hear. Romero believes that Maddalena, while being a big 170-pounder, might face a tough challenge against Makhachev's superior grappling. Do you think Jack's striking can beat Makhachev's
Gilbert Burns brought attention to something most people overlook: the toll of cutting weight. He said Islam moving up could actually be the best thing for his body. No more harsh weight cuts down to 155 means he'll enter the cage fresher, stronger, and possibly more dangerous. Still, Burns also praised Madalena's preparation. He reminded everyone that the Aussie isn't coming in unprepared. He's working with brilliant minds like Craig Jones and Alexander Volkanovski to fine-tune his strategy.
Islam's working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he'll not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proven himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're going to have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much on that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think. And JDM has a clear shot on
Robert Whittaker echoed that same positive outlook. From his experience, repeatedly cutting massive amounts of weight drains a fighter's long-term performance. Allowing Islam to fight closer to his natural size could bring out an even more powerful version of him. Whitaker compared the situation to Ilia Toporia's rise, a fighter who looked sharper and more explosive once competing at his ideal weight.
Maybe it's, I guess that's the $1 million question. That's the question everybody's asking. And that's kind of the question. It's the same situation as Topuria as well. How good is Topuria? But what's he going to look like upper weight division? Same with Islam. By all reports, though, the weight cut was really hard for him, like really, really hard. He's super strong for that weight division, which, you know, must translate well to moving up, making it a little bit easy cut. Maybe he gets a little bigger. It's yeah, I'm very that's the $1 million.
But not everyone is convinced that Islam's success will translate so smoothly. MMA legend Demetrius Johnson, while still favoring the Dagestani champion, admitted that facing natural welterweights brings unique challenges. Johnson praised Islam's ability to set the tempo, apply pressure, and blend strikes seamlessly into takedowns, a skill set that makes him a nightmare opponent in any division.
Who you got? Ilia, Islam.
I've got Makhachev.
I got Makhachev as well.
And I've got Makhachev second round TKO with a knee and
oh yeah, you going bad rounds.
Yeah, I think he'll shoot a couple takedowns. Ilia will stuff it. Ilia will catch him a few times and people will go ooh and ah. And then when they clash again, I think Makhachev will go grab him. Yep. Ilia will think, oh, he's shooting again. Tie clinch, bang, body, knee to the head. Ilia's all of a sudden stumble downhill from there. I think he beats Oliveira with a body.
Jorge Masvidal offered a more balanced take. He saw the benefits: less weight cutting, more strength, and better endurance, but also warned of the dangers. The welterweight division has bigger hitters who move differently and react faster than lightweights. Masvidal couldn't ignore Madalena's explosive win over Bilal Muhammad either. That fight, he said, proved the Aussie has the timing and knockout power to ruin Islam's plans if he gets the right opening.
I've seen Islam, bro. He's a big guy. He's sucking out a lot of weight to get to 55. I think he might start doing better at 70. Problem is, though, Jack is special. We're gonna see just how special he is if he beats Islam Jack. #1 pound for, wow, that's impressive, you know. I'm leaning towards Islam, brother.
Oh, really?
You know, but I really think it's gonna be a tough fight for him, but a great fight, man.
Jack was able to defend takedown attempts by Bilal.
Bilal has the best cardio in MMA, but Bilal doesn't have Islam's technique. Not same technique, not same. Very good, very aggressive. Bilal never stops a dog. Attack. But Islam is like smart, man. Boom, you know. Islam's level of wrestling is above. His stand-up game is improving. I don't think he could go stand-up in the beginning with Jack. Jack has way better hands, way better range, faster, stronger. But as the rounds go on later and later, he could do it.
While many focused on technique, Chael Sonnen looked at the bigger picture. He talked about how this fight could change the sport's landscape. If Islam wins decisively, Sonnen believes it could open doors to massive future fights, maybe even a cross-division showdown with Ilia Topuria. But he also warned not to overlook Madalena's unpredictability. The Aussie has a wild side, and if he manages to stuff a few takedowns, one clean punch could change everything, maybe even the course of the entire division.
Islam relinquish his belt and go up to 170. Got JDM taking on Islam Makhachev.
I still think Islam's skill for skill is just so high level. For him to go out there and do what he did against Bilal was very impressive, made that Islam fight more interesting. If JDM can shut him down and throw those hands, but Islam's boxing is underrated. That dude is slick. His kickboxing, his timing, like he's a high level black belt in every aspect of MMA.
Big belt, who gives him that?
Jack versus Islam I think is huge. Not as big as Ilia versus Islam, but who knows, maybe they both win and Islam comes back down to 55 and the fight's even bigger.
Ian Machado Gary, one of the sport's loudest rising stars, gave a split opinion. He credited Islam for his growth and discipline, but ultimately leaned toward Madalena for one major reason: size. Gary pointed out that Jack is a true welterweight who could never make 155, while Islam is still adjusting to the new division. That natural size, Gary said, could let Jack take more damage, hit harder, and possibly land the decisive blow.
Who do you think wins, Jack or Islam?
It's such a tough one to talk about. Islam is phenomenal. He's good everywhere. Size matters. When you're talking about an extra 15 pounds, when you look at the size of Volkanovski versus Jack Della Maddalena, there's a big size discrepancy. And Volk gave him a good fight. And then Dustin Poirier, it wasn't absolutely completely dominant by Islam. It was a tough fight. Size is going to play a huge part. Even on the ground, I feel like Jack could get it done with just some clean boxing and good takedown defense. But I can absolutely see Islam coming in and doing what Islam does and going out there and just looks like the phenomenal mixed martial artist he is.
Carlos Prates, fresh off his fight with Gary, agreed with that assessment. He highlighted Madalena's steady improvements, especially in his defensive grappling and how he handled Bilal Muhammad's pressure. Prates didn't expect an easy win for anyone, but believed that if Jack stays composed, patient, and sticks to a smart game plan, he could edge out a close decision victory.
The main event is also in your weight class, JDM and Islam. Who do you think is going to win that?
I think the favorite is Islam, but Jackie show like he grew up a lot as a fighter since he stopped fight. Now he was a long time without fight, almost 2 years, and he got really good skills to fight Bilal Muhammad, defense takedowns. So I think he's gonna win.
You think Jack is going to win?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you think he wins a decision, or do you think he stops him?
I think decision is really hard fight.
You think Islam stays at 170 or he goes back?
If he lose, I don't know. It depends how he feels during the fights. How close is gonna be the fight, you know?
As UFC 322 gets closer, the hype just keeps growing. Makhachev's reputation as one of MMA's most complete fighters is on the line, while Madalena has a golden opportunity to pull off a career-changing upset. Both are stepping into the unknown, Islam testing his strength and cardio against naturally bigger men, and Jack facing the most suffocating grappler of his career. For fans, this isn't just another main event, it's a true clash of styles and legacies. And whether Islam's new 191-pound frame becomes his greatest advantage or his biggest test, one thing's certain, this fight will reshape both men's careers forever.